Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan's softball Game 2 between the Michigan Wolverines and the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm Alex Miller. Alongside me, Zach Edwards, and I'm super excited for this one. Michigan won a thriller yesterday, 9-6, and look for more here today back home in Carol Hutchins.
Yeah, definitely a fun game yesterday. Again, 9-6 like you said. Had a lot of hitting all around from both lineups. A couple of homers. Maddie Erickson had 2 doubles kind of later in that game that really helped propel Michigan's offense. So definitely a fun one. Hoping to have some more heavy batting here today. Another exciting one, but looking forward to what should be a great Game 2 of this series.
The Michigan defense, no surprises. Maddie Erickson at the hot corner. Ella McVeigh at shortstop. Indiana Langford joins her up the middle at second base. Kiki Thole at the cold corner at first. Lily Valamont at catcher. Aaron Hain, the starting pitcher in the circle. Left to right in the outfield. Ellie Sealer, Janisa Conway, and Ella Stevenson. And they'll dance with the same exact Ohio State lineup as yesterday. Tegan Cordelletti, Taylor Heckman, Cami Kortekrak, Jasmine Burns, Mackenzie Bump, Sam Hackenbrack, Kirsten Epley, Destiny Norrie, and Caitlin Farley. Hain will step on the rubber. Right foot on the third base side. Rocks and delivers the first pitch of the afternoon for a strike at 159 here in Ann Arbor.
Erin Hain coming into this matchup with a 3.46 ERA, her first appearance here this weekend.
0-1 pitch, popped up in the air, slicing out of play on the third base side.
And Erin Hain this year kind of started as a two-way player, kind of stepped out of that batting lineup as we've seen Kastalis really step into her own, but nonetheless, Erin Hain's done a great job as kind of a number 2 for Durkowski for Michigan.
0-2 pitch to Cordelletti, ripped to third. It's off of Maddie Erickson's glove. McVeigh on the backhand had it, but no throw to first as Cordelletti hustled down the line and beats it out. She's aboard for the Buckeyes in the top of the first.
Yeah, good job getting a stop there from Ella McVeigh. It kind of bounced off that glove, like you said, of Maddie Erickson, and McVeigh does a good job making sure it doesn't reach the outfield and potentially could turn 2. But unable to make the throw there as Cordelletti is one of the best batters here for this Buckeye lineup.
Taylor Heckman digs in, squared around a bunt, lets the pitch go by for strike 1.
Infield kind of playing a little bit in here as Stoll and Erickson both are kind of creeping towards home plate, predicting a bunt.
Hain to the rosin bag now, back on the rubber. 0-1 pitch, she rocks and delivers upstairs. Valamont out of the crouch to grab it.
And this top of the Buckeye lineup is definitely their strong suit as Cordelletti averages just below 400 and Heckman just about 2 1/3 or 3 1/3, excuse me.
Pitch there for a strike, 1-2. Heckman again showed bunt, pulled it back and took the pitch for a called strike. Heckman, the senior from Utica, Ohio. Last year, only 3 starts, hit 182. This year, 336 is the batting average as an everyday starter. 1-2 pitch from Hain. Sky down the right field line. Foul. Nice snag by a man in a Michigan cap. And he'll throw it back into Ella Stevenson in right field.
And Heckman's kind of settled herself in the lineup here this season. The last 2 seasons, again, like you said, only 3 starts, but 22 games played in her last 2 seasons. So has appeared quite a bit, but really this season getting her own as one of the main starters here for the Buckeyes.
1-2 to Heckman. Cordelletti at first. Hain rocks. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off speed, misses up top for ball 2.
Heckman doing a good job staying inside of this bat here, this at bat, kind of sticking around with those 2 strikes that she had for a couple pitches here.
2-2. Infield back, a double play depth, 2-2 pitch. And she went around, strike 3. Erin Hain picks up her first strikeout of the afternoon.
Yeah, Heckman unable to pull the bat back there. She just barely went around, but really good pitch there by Hain to get her to bite and get the first out of the inning. And some much needed momentum for Hain after allowing that first kind of infield single. But nonetheless, Kortekrak's coming up here for the Buckeyes.
First pitch ball to Cami Kortekrak, the junior shortstop. Has started every game in her Buckeye career, in her 3rd season now in the scarlet and gray. Cordelletti at first, 1 down. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Erin Hain. Outside, ball 2.
And Kortekrak has been a really steady presence for the Buckeyes. Really hasn't wavered too much in her hitting throughout all of her years at Ohio State. She started every single game, so really just a consistent presence.
2-0 count. Hayne checks the wristband. Now back on the rubber. Left foot back. Rocks 2-0 pitch. Low for ball 3.
And in quarterback's first season, she was a first team, or all freshman team rather, and first team all Big Ten last season. So really one of the best players here in this Buckeyes lineup as she's hitting at the 3 spot.
3-0 pitch for a strike, 3-1.
See if Erin Hayne can kind of get her way back inside of this at bat here. Started off a little bit slow on a 3-0 count, but starting to gain some leeway.
Here's the 3-1. Slapped foul.
Looks
Hard
like it'll
hit
go
to the Michigan dugout.
Yeah. Jen Brundage kind of sitting on the outside of that dugout. Either had to get out of the way or try and catch that one.
The count fills to 3-2 to Quartercracks. Hayne back on the rubber. Rocks, here's the 3-2 pitch. And that one's low. Ball 4. 2 aboard now for the Buckeyes. With 1 down, Jasmine Burns due up next.
And Jasmine Burns has been a really star freshman here in the Buckeyes lineup. Has won 2 Big Ten Freshman of the Week awards. One relatively recently back in March, but again, another one of these consistent batters here at the beginning of the lineup.
First pitch, bloops it foul down the third base line, past Maddie Erickson. 0-1 count. Cordelletti at second, Quartercracks at first. Top of the first inning, no score so far.
Cordelletti on that foul ball pretty much made her way all the way to third, so some pretty aggressive base running showing from Cordelletti, but again, goes foul.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Hayne. Fouled off again. Burns out in front of that one. Cordelletti at second, runs well. 14 stolen bases to her name this season. Erin Hayne back to the rosin bag. Now the right foot back on the rubber, left foot back. Rocks, here's the 0-2 pitch. Down the pipe, strike 3 called, rung her up. 2 down here in the first.
This Michigan crowd really getting into it here, supporting Hayne as she's trying to make her way back with 2 runners on, and she's almost out of this kind of formidable part of the Ohio State lineup as the top 5 batters in this lineup all hit above 300. So really consistent between all 5 of these hitters as she'll kind of get towards the bottom of the lineup, not quite as strong, all of them kind of batting more around the 200, 250 range.
Third base umpire Tanya Garrett came to chat with Hayne about the rosin bag. Now dropped it, first pitch to Mackenzie Bump. Up and away for ball 1. Hayne going to the rosin bag nearly between every single pitch before wiping her hand off on her right pant leg. 1-0 count. Mackenzie Bump in the left-handed batter's box. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Off speed for ball 2.
That one kind of grazed the edge of the strike zone there as the Michigan faithful thought that might have dropped in for a strike, but Erin Hayne probably going to look here to get back in the plus, down 2-0.
2-0 pitch. There's strike 1.
Good job from Hayne, staying composed, getting back in this at-bat against Bump, who's sitting around a 350 average on the season.
2-1 pitch from Hayne. Fastball for strike 2. 2-2 now to Mackenzie Bump. Bump, the senior. Last year only hit 226. This year that average, as Zach said, nearly 350. 5 homers as well. Pitch up and away for ball 3, and the count is full to Mackenzie Bump.
This is a pretty crucial upcoming pitches here with 2 runners on and 2 outs. Hayne almost able to get out of this potential jam.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Chopped on the ground. Hayne retreating, throws it to first. And the Buckeyes are retired here in the first inning. No score. Michigan bats coming up in the bottom of the first.
A pretty routine play there for Hayne as she kind of just backs up, takes 2 steps back, controls the ball, throws it over the first, gets the inning out. So really good job from Hayne to get through kind of this formidable part of the Buckeye lineup. We'll look forward to one of the better parts of the Michigan lineup coming here at the top of the order.
For Michigan, no surprises. The order's been pretty constant all year. There was the one switch of Stevenson and Valamont. That remains the same, so it's Ellie Sealer leading off, Indiana Langford hitting second, Maddie Erickson third, Kiki Thole cleans up, Ella Stevenson fifth, Janisa Conway sixth, Lily Valamont seventh, Ava Costalis eighth, and Ella McVeigh, the shortstop, rounds it out for Bonnie Thole's squad. It's a busy day here in Ann Arbor at the ballpark.
Yeah, with graduation, a lot of families in town. Pretty much every seat in that outfield looks pretty full. And then a lot of us down right below us here in the infield also relatively full. A couple back seats still open, but nonetheless a pretty nice day for softball.
You were about to say something about Bonnie Thole when I mentioned
you're
how
good.
crowded it was.
Yeah, Bonnie Thole in her second season this year, again, was 26 and 25 last season, so kind of getting into her own after Hutch retired. And so this season, already up 38 and 14 on the season, so really good record here for her in her second year. And Michigan is actually quite close to winning a Big Ten regular season title. All they need is to sweep this series at Northwestern to drop one of theirs, as they're only a half game back. So Michigan hoping to get a win here on day 2 to get one game closer.
Ellie Sealer digs in and takes a first pitch strike from Lexi Paulson. The sophomore gets the start in the circle for the Buckeyes. The defense behind her, Mackenzie Bump at third, Cammie Kortokrax at short, Caitlin Farley at second, Destiny Norrie at first. As here's the 0-1 pitch, off speed for ball one. 1-1, the outfield left to right. Tegan Cordelletti in left, Kirsten Epley in center, Taylor Heckman in right field. Behind the dish is Jasmine Burns today, and Sam Hackenbrack yesterday. 1-1 missed for a ball, 2-1 now to Sealer.
Both Norrie and Bump on first and third are playing a little bit inside the plate.
2-1 pitch to Sealer, slicing foul on the third base side, 2-2. The junior, Monroe, Michigan native, hitting .361 in her junior campaign.
Yeah, very consistent hitter for Michigan, and she kind of found her own last season, was hitting around that 300 range as well. She's been one of the top hitters for Michigan this season.
2-2 from Paulson. Sealer rolls it over back to the circle. Paulson throws it over to first, one down. And now the Indiana Jones theme blares throughout Carol Hutchins. Indiana Langford digs into the left-handed batter's box as her number 44 seeks a base hit off the number 44 of Lexi Paulson in the circle. First pitch to Langford, infield in tight. Pitches upstairs for ball one.
Langford, one of the slap hitters here for Michigan softball today. Again, hitting just above that 300 range, and has been another one of the most consistent batters here for Michigan.
1-0 pitch for ball two. 2-0 now to Indy Langford.
And the sophomore in her first year was all Big Ten freshman team and second team after she started the year kind of outside the lineup and then made her way in later in the season and really made a difference for the Michigan hitting.
2-0 pitch. Got one low and in. 3-0 now to Indy Langford.
Good eye by Indy to get ahead in the count here, 3-0. Looking to get definitely one of the fastest base runners and probably all of softball on base.
Here's the 3-0. Right down the pipe for a strike, 3-1.
As I was alluding to, Indy Langford, one of the fastest runners probably of any softball player, has quite a few steals on the season.
She can fly.
She can fly. 13 for 18 with steals on the season.
3-1, slapped foul, and all of a sudden the 3-0 count has filled to 3-2.
Both her and Janisa Conway are the only two Wolverine base runners to attempt over 10 steals, but both of them have accomplished a high percentage of those steals. So if Indiana Langford can get on with one out here, potential for her to make her way around the bases as Michigan will get into some of their power hitters.
3-2, slap to short, played by Kortokrax. Throw is easily in time. 2 down now, and Maddie Erickson coming up to the dish for Michigan.
And they definitely like to have a couple base runners on with Maddie Erickson on base as one of the main power hitters for Michigan. And she's hit 10 home runs on the season and had 2 doubles yesterday.
First pitch to Erickson, upstairs for ball 1. The sophomore's batting average has climbed to 374 for the first time in a long time. A player not named Ellie Sealer leads the Michigan Wolverines in batting average. 1-0 pitch for ball 2, low and away.
Seems like Paulson's kind of struggled to get ahead of the counts here, as now this is the second straight at bat where she goes 2-0.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. There's a strike, 2-1.
Able to get her way back inside that one.
Erickson had a couple knocks yesterday, including a big RBI double, 2 RBI double. Lexi Paulson, right foot on the third base side of the rubber. Hands go over the head before the delivery. 2-1. Erickson drives it high in the sky, but foul was out in front. There's a bounce house on the left field side. It's gotten some action. There's been kids playing around there, and they've got to keep their heads on a swivel. Yeah, softball's been coming in hot.
Especially with Maddie Erickson up to bat. That one pretty close to that as that one was crushed.
Paulson rocks 2-2 pitch. Up and away, 3-2.
Good eye from Maddie Erickson there. Full count with 2 outs. See what she can do here is kind of in an unfavorable position for the Michigan offense in the bottom of the first.
Paulson rocks 3-2 pitch. Off speed. Erickson was out in front. And goes down on strikes. The Wolverine 1-2-3 goes down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. No score through 1 here in Ann Arbor.
Great job from Paulson. And that off-speed pitch was nasty. That went in, and Erickson was thinking about swinging and then kind of pulled back, but it was just so well placed. Really nothing she could do there, and Paulson does a good job of retiring the side, getting 2 ground outs to the infield that were pretty easy to recover from, 1 to her and 1 to quarter cracks. So easily retired as Michigan as Hain will step back on and start to warm up here.
Top of the second, Aaron Hain back in the circle for the Wolverines. She'll face 6, 7, 8 for Ohio State. Sam Hackenbrack, Kirsten Epley, and Destiny Norrie. 3 seniors in a row for the Buckeyes.
And Hackenbrack's kind of struggled this season, batting around just a little over 200, but yesterday had a home run that kept Ohio State in the game. And so hoping to do the same here, maybe get the scoring going for the side as both teams went scoreless through the first. Only 1 hit so far for either team, and that was Ohio State back in the first inning. But we'll see if Hackenbrack in the bottom of this Buckeye lineup can get some hitting going, open up the scoring here for either team.
Hackenbrack, the senior, the last 3 years in a row was All Big Ten second team. Last year hit 368 homers. This year, batting average just over 220, but the power has been there. First pitch to her up top from Hain. Ball 1.
And she was second team All Big Ten all 3 of her first 3 years, so been pretty consistent, but this year fallen off just a little bit.
1-0 misses, low and away. 2-0 now to Hackenbrack. Hackenbrack caught in yesterday's festival. Today she's the designated player for the Buckeyes. Jasmine Byrne gets a turn behind the dish. 2-0 pitch is hit high to right center field. Janisa Conway drifts back. She's got it in the alley. 1 down here in the top of the second.
It's a very well hit ball, but Janisa Conway able to track that one back just on the fringe of the warning track that time. This Michigan outfield has been pretty much the same all season, and they've done a really good job.
First pitch to Kirsten Epley for a ball, 1-0. No score, top of the second inning. 1-0 pitch for a strike from Aaron Hain, 1-1.
And Kirsten Epley played 17 games the last 2 seasons, but has found herself a consistent spot in the lineup here this season for the Buckeyes with 47 appearances and 45 starts. Pretty much every game.
1-1 pitch, swing and a miss at the riser.
Great pitch there by Hain. doing a good job of containing kind of this bottom of the lineup here.
1-2 count to Epley, back in the right-handed batter's box. 1-2 pitch, slicing in the air. It'll bounce once, and Kiki Thole will let it ride foul. So Epley will retreat to the batter's box. 1-2 stays the count.
It's kind of an awkward hit there as it landed right in between Hain and Thole, kind of on that first base line, but smart play by Thole to let it roll foul so they didn't have to make a weird play all the way to first. Indy Langford probably wouldn't have made it all the way back.
Here's the 1-2 from Hain, low and away. Epley working with a staggered stance way in the back of the right-handed batter's box. Right foot toward the chalk, the left foot out toward the third base side. It comes forward toward the pitcher as she swings. 2-2 count. Hain back on the rubber. Here's the 2-2. Up top, fouled off.
So despite Hain kind of getting ahead of the count here, Epley's done a good job of staying in the at-bat. It's kind of settled around a 1-2 and 2-2 count.
Hain 2-2 again. And just missed low. Epley started the swing, did not go around, and the count is full at 3-2.
And check the first base up to see if she went around, and pretty clear from our spot that she didn't, but good job by Hain almost getting her to bite, see if she can get her to go on this full count.
3-2 pitch, ripped. Indy Langford on a dive, takes one away with a backhand. Epley with a missile off the bat, and Indiana Langford diving toward the second base bag. Absolutely just took a base hit away from the Buckeyes.
That's an incredible grab from Indiana Langford, as that one would have been a pretty clear base hit in between center field and right field, kind of in that center right. But incredible job by Indiana Langford to go out and dive and catch that on her backhand, too.
Quite a play by Langford. Destiny Norrie now digs in, takes a first pitch up high for ball one. 2 down here in the top of the second, no score. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch from Hain for ball 2, 2-0.
And Destiny Norrie, the senior first baseman, has some of the least experience out of their starting line with only 39 appearances and 24 starts. The majority of the lineup has played over 40 games.
2-0, skied into foul territory. Indiana Langford drifts to the foul line and hauls it in. The Buckeyes go down 1-2-3 in the top of the second. No score through 1.5 here at Carol Hutchins. Some nice defensive work there from the Michigan second baseman, Indiana Langford.
Yeah, definitely MVP of that top of the second inning there. Hain doing a good job of getting batters in the counts that make them kind of swing and try and get out, but Indy Langford with the diving catch and running all the way from kind of the outfield fringe of second base over the block M here on the first base line to get that third out. Just an overall really good play from Indiana Langford on the infield.
Lexi Paulson back in the circle for Ohio State.
Paulson on the season with a .595 ERA as they're giving Allison Smith and Emily Ruck a break from yesterday. Both of them pitched around 3 or 4 innings yesterday, and so Lexi Paulson has been kind of the consistent number 3 pitcher for the Buckeyes. Has 38 innings and 31 strikeouts. And just 5 starts on the season, so getting her 6th start here today.
Paulson in yesterday's contest pitched a 3rd inning, just got 1 out on 5 pitches. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Wolverines. Kiki Thole, Ella Stevenson, Janisa Conway. First pitch to Thole, upstairs from Paulson.
Thole leading the team this year with 14 home runs, and in second in RBIs, just behind Maddie Erickson.
Here's the 1-0 pitch from Paulson. Upstairs, ball 2. Lexi Paulson goes to the rosin bag, the right-handed pitcher. with the right foot on the rubber, with her toe really on the rubber, then strides forward. 2-0 pitch. Off of the plate and off of the catcher. Burns, ball low, 3-0.
That one hit kind of right about the plate and just jumps over Burns there. But Kiki Thole doing a good job. Now a 3-0 count to her. Has a lot of room to operate.
Thole way in the back of the batter's box. Her right foot on the chalk line. Here's the 3-0 pitch. In the zone for strike one, 3-1.
That pitch definitely a little high, but home plate ump decides that one's going to go, falling for 3-1. Kiki Thole again kind of sending in the back of this batter's box here.
3-1 off speed is low and in. Ball four. Kiki Thole works a walk. So she's aboard at first. Nobody out. A runner on for the red hot bat of freshman Ella Stevenson. Stevenson homered again in yesterday's contest. She was hitting 147 on March 19th. The batting average over 280 here early May. First pitch to Stevenson for a ball. Our umpires in this one, Mindy Villa behind the dish calling balls and strikes. Mark Corris at first, Tanya Gehrig at third, or at second at the moment, with the runner Thole at first base. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Stevenson for a strike, 1-1.
And on Stevenson's success, she's now accomplished 3 straight Big Ten Freshman of the Week.
And 4 of 5.
Yeah. So she's done a really good job of being a very consistent hitter here, kind of towards in the meat of the Michigan batting order after the 2 big power hitters.
1-1 in there for a strike on the outside half. 1-2 now to Stevenson, the freshman from Algonac, Michigan, in the right-handed batter's box. Spins the bat up, hands it around shoulder level. Paulson checks the wristband, rocks. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Stevenson rips that ball into right center field. That's going to get down and head to the wall. Thole round into third. Stevenson to second. They'll hold them there. There's a double for Ella Stevenson as she continues to swing the stick to much success. The freshman is absolutely on fire right now.
And just like that, 2 runners now in scoring position for Michigan, with her on second and Thole on third. Seems like already Paulson is going to come have a meeting with Burns in the circle. It's probably a calming down moment as it was an incredible hit from Ella Stevenson right between the center fielder and right fielder. So now Michigan threatens with 2 in scoring position.
Janisa Conway digs in. The freshman center fielder with a big opportunity here. Nobody out, runners on second and third. Kiki Thole at third, Stevenson at second. First pitch to her, popped foul out of play. And a fan and a black tee couldn't make the snag. 0-1 now to Conway. Infield in tight, keeping an eye on the runner at third. Thole trying to hold her there. 0-1 pitch on the ground to first. Nori tags Janisa Conway while holding Thole at third. A throw to second. Stevenson back safely there. But a nice play by Nori to start heading toward home, applying the tag and holding Kiki Thole without a run coming across.
Yeah, very heads-up play there from Nori. If she would have backtracked, pitched it back, or made her way to the first base bag, could have potentially allowed Thole to get home. So good job there of getting the out, but also preventing a run.
Lily Valamont now with 1 down. Takes a first pitch off speed for a strike. Valamont, the redshirt freshman from Trenton, Michigan, has started every game for the Wolverines. Has been the nearly everyday backstop. 0-1 pitch. Low. Good block behind the plate by Jasmine Burns.
As you said, Valamont, the 3rd freshman in a row here in this lineup, but a redshirt after she was injured all of last season. But has started every single game, made the most of her redshirt year.
Paulson hands over the head, 1-1 delivery. Valamont pops it up, Burns underneath it in foul territory, and she's got it. And Lexi Paulson has picked up 2 big outs. And now the Wolverines' fate in this inning falls on, oh, look at this. It will be Aaron Hain coming to the dish. Ava Costales was listed in the lineup, but we'd heard rumors that Hain might get a chance to hit to offer herself some run support, and she will here.
A pretty crucial spot here for Erin Hain to get the batting going. Kind of two unfortunate outs for Michigan. One falling right on that first base line and the other a foul out in foul territory. So even with two runners on, Erin Hain is kind of in a sticky situation with two outs. And so she's able to get a good hit here into the outfield. Could be 2 runs for Michigan. If not, could stay at a 0-0 game.
First pitch to her for ball 1. Hain has not had an at-bat since March 31st and really hasn't been an everyday starter since mid-March, at least as a hitter. She's been the regular Saturday pitching option. 1-0 pitch off speed. Hain started her turn, checked the swing, pitch dropped in for a strike, 1-1.
Seems like every time Paulson is in a bit of a jam, she goes to that off-speed pitch, and it's worked really well for her, getting these Michigan batters to either bite or just watch it fall in.
1-1 low, good stop behind the dish by Burns. Erin Hain, the freshman from Poseyville, Indiana, digs back in the middle of the right-handed batter's box. Runners on second and third, no score, bottom of the second inning, 2 down. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Paulson. Hain pops it up. Destiny Norrie called off by the second baseman Farley. She's got it, and after getting runners to second and third with nobody out, Lexi Paulson retires 3 straight, and this game remains tied at no score through 2 here in Ann Arbor.
Great job by Lexi Paulson, just preventing any kind of movement there after she allowed kind of that first walk and then the double to Stevenson. Had 2 runners in scoring position, but Michigan really couldn't do anything as 3 straight hits kind of go up around that first base line, and Norrie does a good job of getting 2 out of those 3 plays as the first baseman. But now that Erin Hain had that pop out, she'll go back in the circle and kind of have to forget about that last at bat. There we go. And kind of transition this momentum here on the defensive side.
Top of the third coming up. Erin Hain back in the circle for Michigan. She'll dance with 9-1-2 of the Buckeyes. Caitlin Farley, Tegan Cordelletti, and Taylor Heckman. Erin Hain goes back to her buddy the rosin bag behind the rubber. As Caitlin Farley, the junior second baseman, digs into the left-handed batter's box. Staggered stance, pretty straight up now, bends the knees. First pitch to her, outside for ball 1.
Caitlin Farley, the junior from California.
1-0, big swing, fouled back by Farley.
And Caitlin Farley has a brother, Nolan, on the baseball team at Ohio State, with some family ties down in Columbus, Ohio.
Maddie Erickson, the third baseman, in tight. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Hain, ripped. Indy Langford on a dive, not going to get there. That one's through to right field, a base hit for Farley, and the Buckeyes have a leadoff runner aboard in the third.
Well-placed ball from Farley as it goes just out of reach of Indy Langford, and even though she went to dive for that ball, I'm not sure that she would have been able to get up and make that throw to first, so nonetheless, good play all the way out in right field by Stevenson to just contain it, make sure Farley doesn't round first.
Tegan Cordelletti now digs into the left-handed box. First pitch to her, a bunt laid down, and it'll drift just foul on the third base line. Farley, we saw yesterday, bunted a couple times, not afraid to lay one down for the Ohio State squad. She's in the left-handed batter's box. Staggered stance, shows bunt once again, pulls it back as the pitch comes, now lays it down. And it's played fair by Valamont. Throw to first just in time. Runner going to third is Farley. She is called out there as well. The Wolverines turn 2. And both runners are staying at their bags on very close plays. The force at first and the tag at third. They'll go to the headset at least about the play at third base.
I mean, in my opinion, there were kind of 3 plays that could be reviewed there. It almost looked like it was a foul ball. And then second was a pretty close play at first. And then when Farley rounded second to get to third, it seemed like she may have barely edged out the throw. So kind of 3 different plays that were all really, really close that the umpires had to make a pretty conservative call on. We'll see, again, as the runners on first and third will kind of stand their ground while they review this.
No score, top of the third inning. Wolverines, in theory, turned an unusual double play.
Yep.
Cordelletti was at first, was for a moment signaled to go home, and then retreated back to her bag to try to maintain that she beat the throw from Lily Valamont.
Cordelletti started the game for the Buckeyes at the top of the order. She had a hit in that first inning, and this one, again, if the call gets reversed here, could end up being a fielder's choice sacrifice play to get Farley all the way over to third in scoring position. And that would make it, right now the scoreboard shows 2 outs, but that would make it a 1 out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens on this one.
We'll take the moment to get our first look at the broadcast camera. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Alex Miller alongside me, Zach Edwards. And it has been a fun one so far. No score early on here in Ann Arbor, but an exciting play by the Wolverine defense. And after review,
they did call her safe there at third.
She's called safe at third. Kelly Kovac-Shanley now asking the umpires about Cordelletti at first.
It seems like she might want to get a review here at first as well. But the first base ump kind of standing his ground, saying maybe not going to review this one. Both Bonnie Thole, both coaches are kind of out there.
And now they're going to go to the
review
headset about the play at first. So what a sequence here. And now the fates of the Wolverines could change drastically by these replays. You go from on the field, a double play erasing the base paths. If both these runners are safe, it's nobody out. And runners on the corners for Ohio State.
And from kind of my distant memory of this throw to first, it seemed like it was a pretty clear play. But
I thought it was close.
I thought it was close. It was close, but looked like she might have beat it out. I don't know. We'll have to see here, but this is a potential really big swing of momentum, as what would have been 2 outs can now potentially be no outs, and runners on first and third. And again, they're getting into the top of the order here, so.
Our umpire crew in this one, Mindy Villa, Mark Corris, and Tanya Gehrig. Some tough decisions early here. And Kelly Kovac-Shanley, the 12th year Buckeye head coach, played for Michigan for 4 years, from 1992 to 95, was twice the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year in her Michigan career. After that, got her start coaching, serving under Carol Hutchins for 3 years after graduating from the University of Michigan. And now she's on the other side for the Buckeyes in year 12.
And I'm sure both her and Thole had their stint together, as Bonnie Thole's been with the program now for 31 years. So I'm sure they know each other quite well, and both have kind of stuck around the Big Ten here.
And both runners called safe on the review. So there's something you don't see quite every day. And now the Buckeyes have runners on the corners. Nobody out. And Taylor Heckman coming up. Bonnie Thole comes out of the dugout and gathers her infield to talk some ball here.
Yeah, and this is going to be a much-needed moment for Bonnie Thole in the infield to kind of compose themselves. I mean, this is a big, big swing of momentum and a turn of events, as what seemed like an incredible play was completely flipped on its head. So now, again, no outs with runners in the corner. A really tough situation for Erin Hain.
No score, top of the third inning, nobody out. Farley at third, Cordelletti at first, Taylor Heckman up at the dish. In a pivotal spot early on in this ball game. Infield in tight, trying to hold Farley at third. Hain back on the rubber, sets, here's the pitch. Popped up, deep to left field, Sealer going back. She's under it, Farley will tag, as will Cordelletti to second. Both runners safe, and the Buckeyes on the sac fly take a 1-0 lead here in the third.
Great job by Heckman sending it all the way out to the warning track with Sealer. And Sealer tried to make the play at second, knowing obviously she probably couldn't make that play all the way to home, but there was a little bit off, and just like that, another runner in scoring position with just one out. Ohio State on the precipice of getting another run in.
Cami Cordacrax digs in with a runner on second and Cordelletti with one out. First pitch high for ball one.
Cordacrax in her first at bat was walked, and so that set up a runner at first and second after Heckman in her first at bat was struck out.
Here's the 1-0 pitch from Hain, off speed, misses for a ball. Cordelletti started halfway down to third. Valamont came out of the crouch to ire, and eventually Cordelletti dove back to second.
Seemed like Valamont kind of wanted to make a play there, but unable to do so, as pretty good base running.
2-0 for a strike, a much needed sign for Erin Hain. Two and one. Hain looks into the dugout for the sign, now checks the wristband. Right foot back on the rubber, left foot back, rocks 2-1 pitch. For a strike, 2-2, caught the outside corner.
So Erin Hain flipping a 2-0 to a 2-2 count on Cordacrax with a .329 average, again, kind of in the stronger part of the Buckeye lineup.
2-2 slapped foul off the netting. So we'll do it over at 2-2.
As she fouls that off, Cordacrax, one of three players in the Buckeyes lineup to play in every single game this season. Her, the freshman Burns, and the junior Farley.
2-2 from Hain, slapped up the middle. That one's through. Rounding is Cordelletti. Conway's throw to the plate, not in time. And that makes it 2-0, Ohio State.
Janisa Conway kind of had to make a decision there whether she wanted to try and throw home to get her out there. Instead, Cordacrax decided to round first as she saw that ball go all the way home, and now she's standing up at second. And that ball just a little bit short to Lily Valamont as we watch the replay on the screen, but just like that, another runner in scoring position here with Burns up to bat.
One out, runner on second for Burns. Off speed, misses for ball one. Burns, the freshman, California native, having a strong freshman campaign, 6 doubles, 9 homers, hitting cleanup for the Buckeyes. 1-0 pitch, low and away, ball two.
She struck out looking in her first at bat, so Erin Hain so far has had success against Jasmine Byrne despite her strong season. Looking to hopefully turn the tide here again in this at bat despite going a little bit behind 2-0. Hain trying to get a much needed strikeout.
2-0 pitch fouled off. Moves the count to 2 balls, 1 strike. Cordacrax aboard at second. 2 have come across for the Buckeyes. They lead at 2-0 here in the top of the third. Erin Hain in the circle, back on the rubber. She rocks 2-1 delivery. On the ground, Maddie Erickson. It's off of her glove. And no throw to first. A chopper to Maddie Erickson. And just popped out of the glove, and now 2 aboard for the Buckeyes.
Jasmine Byrne had a hit yesterday. This one will go down as an error, but nonetheless, she's on base yet again. And so just like that, runners at first and second, Aaron Hain struggling to get out of this inning after a crazy event at the beginning of the inning.
Mackenzie bump, first pitch she sees, skies it to left field. Ellie Sealer has it on the charge. One pitch to bump gets the second out of the frame. And now Sam Hackenbrack digs in with 2 down, 2 aboard.
Ellie Sealer's made both of these outs here in this inning, one of them all the way back at the warning track, and this one kind of near the infield.
First pitch to Hackenbrack, off speed, dropped on in for a strike. Corda cracks at second, Burns at first base. 2-0 Ohio State. Hain back on the rubber. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Hackenbrack. Ripped foul off the netting. 0-2 now.
And Hackenbrack really swinging for the fences today. Has some big swings, especially on that second one. And then in her first at bat, flied all the way out pretty close to the warning track that Conway had to catch in center field.
0-2, here's the pitch from Hain. Swing and a miss. Hain went rise ball, drew a chase. And the Buckeyes are retired, but not before they plate 2 and take a 2-0 lead in the top of the third inning. But if you're Michigan, you think back to yesterday's contest. Buckeyes led early on in that one as well, and Michigan came on top 9-6. Came out on top 9-6.
Yeah, this time yesterday, it was a 4-2 game heading into the bottom of the third, and then Michigan opened up with 3 runs in that bottom of the third inning on a RBI double from Maddie Erickson, RBI double from Kiki Thole, and a single from Valamont. And so as Michigan enters the middle of its lineup, going to try and do the same that they did yesterday.
Bottom of the third coming up for Michigan. It'll be 9-1-2. Ella McVeigh, Ellie Sealer, Indiana Langford. As they look to jumpstart the Michigan offense. Down 2-0 in the bottom of the third inning. The Buckeyes make a defensive change, a similar move to yesterday. Caden Ruffer will go out and play right field for Taylor Heckman for the moment. In yesterday's contest, Heckman returned and hit, but for the moment, in right field is Ruffer. First pitch to Ella McVeigh for ball 1. McVeigh squared around a bunt, pulled it back. Pitch missed for the ball.
And Ella McVeigh, the junior captain, has kind of sat at the bottom of the lineup the last 2 seasons for the Wolverines.
She's been a steady presence, though, down there. Hits for contact, batting average sitting near 300 in her junior campaign. The everyday shortstop for Michigan. 1-0 pitch for a strike, 1-1.
Ella McVeigh out of Des Moines played high school basketball with Caitlin Clark, who had her preseason debut yesterday for the Indiana Fever.
1-1 to McVeigh. Pitch low for a ball. I do think that's such. I've heard that before. Ella McVeigh's mother actually once commented that on one of our broadcasts, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting piece of information.
Yeah, absolutely.
2-1 to McVeigh. Here's the pitch. Off speed, dropped on in for strike 2, 2-2. McVeigh in the back of the left-handed box. 2-2 pitch, off speed, rolled off of her own foot. McVeigh will walk this one off. Still a 2-2 count.
Now it definitely did not feel good as it kind of hit her shin on that foul tip. She'll step back in for the 2-2 count here.
McVeigh kicks back some dirt, shows bunt, pulls it back. 2-2. Fouled off. McVeigh staying alive. Paulson goes to the rosin bag. It's a significantly smaller rosin bag than the one that Aaron Hain is fiddling with the other way. 2-2 pitch. Misses outside, 3-2.
That one kind of caught, just barely went outside. And so Ella McVeigh with the full count, again, doing a great job staying alive as she shows bunt kind of towards the beginning of every at-bat here.
3-2. Runger up. McVeigh took a step down to first, and then the bark came from Mindy Villa behind the dish. One down in the bottom of the third. And Ellie Sealer, the leadoff hitter, will dig in for the Wolverines, replacing McVeigh in the left-handed batter's box. Sealer not a slap hitter on that side. First pitch to her, low and away, ball one.
And Ellie Sealer, the second of 3 straight lefties in this lineup. McVeigh at the bottom, and then Sealer back at the top. Indy Langford rounding out that trio in the 2 spot.
1-0 pitch. Sealer rips it to left field on the charge. It's Cordelletti. She is there. 2 down now for Indiana Langford.
Good play by Tegan Cordelletti. It was a pretty well hit ball, kind of on a line, but Cordelletti able to make her way over and get the snag for the second out of the inning. And Michigan potentially could go 1-2-3 just like the bottom of the first here.
Indiana Langford digs into the left-handed batter's box. Lexi Paulson, third base side of the rubber. First pitch to Langford off speed, drops in for strike number 1. Langford, the slap-hitting speedster. The sophomore grounded out to short her first time up. Here's the 0-1 from Paulson. Slapped foul toward the Ohio State dugout. Bonnie Thole with a nice snag off the netting.
She'll kind of chat it up with some people in the Ohio State dugout. I'm sure they play each other quite often, so got to have some friends on both sides here in this rivalry.
0-2 count. Paulson, hands go over the head. Rocks 0-2 delivery. Langford chops it to third. McKenzie bump throw to first. And the Wolverines 9-1-2 go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the third. Still 2-0 Buckeyes. Top of the fourth coming up shortly. Thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports, the official student voice of Michigan Athletics. I'm Alex Miller, alongside me, Zach Edwards. And through 3 here, the Wolverine bats have been quieted by Lexi Paulson.
Yeah, Lexi Paulson doing especially well on the top of the order. She retired Ellie Sealer and Indy Langford, who are 2 of the best hitters for Michigan, on both at bats. So good job by her to get through this Wolverine lineup pretty quickly. As Michigan, again, had those 3 runs in the third inning yesterday, but were kept scoreless in the third inning today. Although, as we saw, based on yesterday, Michigan, all they need is 1 inning to kind of get them going on offense, and that could make the difference as they had a come-from-behind win.
I want to take the moment to mention it is obviously, today was commencement for this Michigan softball team. The graduates, Kiki Thole, Riley Karkaber, Hannah George, and Jessica LeBeau. So congratulations to that quartet. 2%. And of course to everyone else, members of WCBN. We had a number of graduates, of course, and the rest of the Michigan community whose academic careers ended today. This morning I was on Twitter at around noon, and Kobe Siegel, longtime WCBN member, the tweet popped up that he put out was officially unemployed. And I was like, I like that, Kobe.
Yeah.
2-0 ball game, top of the fourth inning. Buckeyes leading it. They're up at the dish, 7-8-9. Epley, Norrie, and Farley to duel with Aaron Hain, the freshman, back in the circle. First pitch to Epley up top for ball 1. Kirsten Epley, the senior from Strongsville, Ohio. Last year was only 2 for 7 on the season, only 3 starts her first 3 seasons. She takes ball 2, and this year has appeared, and this is her 26th start of the season. (2-0) pitch from Hain. Misses outside. 3-0 now to Epley.
Epley in that first at bat had that line drive to Langford that she caught on a dive. And Langford kind of taking the inning off here as Janelle Alakwa will be at second base for the Wolverines.
3-0 pitch for a strike, 3-1. Janelle Alakwa is at second. Yesterday at around this time, Bonnie Thole went to Alakwa at second and Riley Carcoborough at first. Regular defensive replacements for Michigan. 3-1 for a strike, and Erin Hain, after falling behind 3-0, fills the count to 3-2 to Kirsten Epley. 2-0 Buckeyes, top of the 4th inning, no score in this frame with Epley leading it off. And she skies one to the right center field. Janisa Conway calls off Ella Stevenson and makes the catch in the right center field alley. 1 down.
So good start of the inning for Erin Hain. Fought her way back all the way from a 3-0 count to 3-2 and then forced Epley to sky it up into center right field. As again, like you said, Conway kind of called off Stevenson on that fly.
Destiny Nori digs in. Takes a first pitch ball from Erin Hain. Maddie Erickson plays the ball on a hot throw to first in time. And Destiny Nori's retired. Nicely done at the hot corner by Erickson. I also wanted to correct myself on something I said a moment ago. I flip-flopped Nori's numbers with those of Epley. Epley hitting .261, and this would be her 46th start of the season, was Nori making her 26th start of the year. Caitlin Farley digs in now and takes ball 1.
Again, looking at that last play, Maddie Erickson had that error last inning, but did a great job of turning that around on her backhand, run on the third base bag, threw it all the way over to first to get the second out of the inning.
1-0 to Farley, off speed, dropped on in for strike 1.
Erin Hain kind of getting into more of a groove here, retiring 2 straight batters, and now starting to get ahead of this count, which she's kind of struggled with doing earlier today.
1-1, way upstairs. 2-1. Hain goes back to that giant rosin bag, now drops it. Trying to get a grip of the softball. 2-1 count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Hain. Up top again, 3-1.
And kind of that same place as the last pitch. Caitlin Farley almost bite on the one right before, but not going on that one, as now she'll get a little bit ahead in the count, 3-1. Erin Hain looking to retire the side.
3-1 pitch from Hain, popped up. Janella Lockrow retreating to shallow center, and she hauls it in. 1-2-3 inning. All of a sudden, this game's starting to fly by. Still 2-0 Buckeyes. Bottom of the 4th inning coming up. And with it, the Wolverines hope their bats can pick it up.
Absolutely. And with Janelle Alakwa on that defensive transition there, was able to substitute in, got that out. Last season, she started quite a bit at that second base spot, but kind of had an injury and didn't really return to the lineup this season. Has kind of struggled on the hitting front, and so has been a very consistent defensive substitution for Bonnie Thole and the Michigan Wolverines at second base. Able to get that out there, and hopefully that 1-2-3 inning from Erin Hain can kind of translate into some offense here for Michigan, as Michigan will start kind of at the key part of their lineup with Maddie Erickson, Kiki Thole, and Ella Stevenson, who've all done a really good job, not only this weekend, but recently, of hitting the ball with power, hitting the ball deep, and getting on base pretty consistently.
And that's also why the Alakwa substitution now makes sense. Indiana Langford, the last out of last inning. I'd have to imagine she will return to bat, so
Absolutely.
you maximize Alakwa's usage defensively, with Langford not up for a little while. 3, 4, 5, Maddie Erickson, Kiki Thole, Ella Stevenson. Erickson, the sophomore from Wilsonville, Oregon, will dig in. Lexi Paulson has been working smoothly so far. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, no runs. 2-0 Ohio State, bottom of the 4th. Paulson retoes the rubber. Rocks, first pitch to Erickson. Taken for strike 1.
She'll watch that one fall right into the zone, and that's exactly how she went out last time. Struck out looking in her first at bat.
0-1, outfield deep, infield back, just seeking the force at first. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Paulson. Big fly ball to left center field, high in the sky, and caught in the warning track just in front of the wall by Kirsten Epley. Erickson missed a homer by a matter of feet, just a little bit underneath that softball.
Yeah, and Kirsten Epley made her way, almost ran into the wall there, as that one would have maybe hit kind of the yellow warning part of that outfield. And so Kirsten Epley does a great job of reining that one in and keeping Michigan off the board here.
Kiki Thole now with 1 out, nobody aboard, digs in. Walked her first time up, was stranded at third. Takes a first pitch ball from Lexi Paulson.
It seems like Paulson doesn't really like putting it in the zone here for Thole. Again, Thole, the leader in home runs and second in RBIs here for the Wolverines.
Here's the 1-0 from Paulson. Skips in low, bounced it in front of home plate. To Thole, the senior, an illustrious career in the maize and blue from the native of Tinley Park, Illinois. Here's the 2-0 from Paulson, and Kiki Thole takes it for strike 1.
Kiki Thole last season as well hit pretty well as one of the power hitters for Michigan, and this season doing the same. Niece of head coach Bonnie Thole, lots of ties to the game of softball.
2-1 for a strike, 2-2 to number 2, Kiki Thole.
Despite 2 good pitches there from Paulson, Kiki Thole not biting as she again walked in that first at bat, so was maybe looking to do the same, but now in a little bit more of a tough situation.
2-2 pitch. Thole reaches out to the low one, bloops it in the air to shortstop. Corda Cracks has it drifting toward the second base bag, and Kiki Thole is retired. And now 2 down, Janisa Conway. Ella Stevenson.
Paulson, every time she gets in that tough situation, goes right back to that off-speed pitch and gave it to Kiki Thole on that 2-2 count. Forced kind of a blooper right on the fringe of the infield for a pretty easy play.
First pitch strike to Ella Stevenson with the off-speed from Lexi Paulson. It's been smooth sailing so far for the sophomore. Stevenson ripped a double in her first time up. 0-1 pitch, fouled back. It's the only hit Michigan has so far today. And Steven, the pride of Algonac, Michigan, has swung it well over the last month and some change. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch from Paulson, fouled off.
Ella Stevenson staying in this at bat here. Again, had that double back in the second inning. Hoping to replicate that success despite Michigan already having 2 outs in this inning.
0-2 pitch. Stevenson lets it go by, lone away for ball 1, 1-2. Stevenson taps the plate twice, twirls the bat up over the shoulder. Wide stance, bends the knees, and awaits the 1-2. Paulson, right foot on the rubber, now comes set, rocks. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2-2.
2 straight off-speed pitches there from Paulson. First one low, second one high. Ella Stevenson now making her way back in this at bat after 3 straight either strikes or foul balls. Now an even count.
2-2. Paulson rocks and delivers. Swing and a miss. Stevenson goes down. Went chasing up top and couldn't catch up with it. 2-0 Ohio State. We're through 4 here in Ann Arbor. Buckeyes on top.
And Michigan struggling to find any kind of offense here. Really only had that one inning where Kiki Thole was at third and Ella Stevenson was at second after Stevenson hit a drive into right center field. Now pretty much just consistent 1-2-3 innings as Paulson has done an incredible job of either forcing Michigan into bad counts and bad hits, either bad swings kind of into the infield or out in the outfield. Maddie Erickson almost had that home run, but nothing doing there. So Michigan will go back to Erin Hain in the circle as she'll try and contain Ohio State from getting any more runs.
Riley Carcaboro now is at first base. Defensive replacement for Kiki Thole for the moment. Janella Lacqua staying in at second. And they'll back up Erin Hain. She'll face the top of the Buckeye order. Tegan Cordelletti, 2 for 2 today. Her average creeping ever closer to 400. Taylor Heckman was replaced defensively by Caden Ruffer, but Heckman's back in the on-deck circle, so it looks like she'll return to hit second. Cami Corda-Crack's third. Hain rocks first pitch to Cordelletti. Fastball popped out of play on the third base side.
Erin Hain really doing all the right things here for Michigan, allowing just 4 hits in those first 4 innings. And again, 3 strikeouts, so she's done quite a good job of containing Ohio State thus far.
0-1 upstairs, 1-1. Hain goes back to that rosin bag. Right foot on the third base side of the rubber, left foot back, rocks 1-1 delivery from number 11 is in there for a strike, 1-2. Michigan wearing their blue jerseys, maize trim and letters. On the blue out here at Carol Hutchins. Ohio State in the white with red accents. As the 1-2 pitch misses up and away, 2-2.
Erin Hain's pitch count now to 75. See if she sticks in here for the full 7, as they used her very sparingly yesterday.
Rocks 2-2 delivery, ripped past Maddie Erickson on a dive and through to left field. Tegan Cordelletti keeps on hitting. She's 3 for 3 this afternoon. Really has seen the ball well all weekend.
And despite Ruffer getting the defensive substitution, it'll be Heckman back in the batter's box for Ohio State.
Heckman lays down a bunt. It got a piece of her, and we ruled foul. Maddie Erickson used it as an opportunity to show off her cannon of an arm by firing it down to Janella Lacqua covering the first base bag. Cordelletti will retreat to first. 0-1 count now to Heckman. Swing and a miss. Pitch up top. 0-2. Good spot from Hain.
Hain so far this inning getting ahead in the counts, despite allowing another hit to Cordelletti, whose average is now just 1/1000th below 400, is in a good spot here as Michigan faithful gets excited.
Hain misses low with the 0-2 pitch. Tried to draw the chase. Heckman didn't bite. 1-2. Infield a double play depth, outfield straight up as well. Hain rocks 1-2 pitch, fouled back by Taylor Heckman.
And Heckman earlier today had a strikeout, one of Hain's 3 strikeouts in the first inning, but then in the third had a fly out all the way to Ellie Sealer that hit the warning track, and that was where Ohio State got their first run of the day.
1-2 count, a light breeze out to left field. Still cloudy in Ann Arbor. 1-2 pitch, off speed. Heckman just got the end of the bat on the ball, was out in front, but stays alive. 1-2.
And Taylor Heckman just staying alive here, trying to get something going as Cordelletti started the inning off strong for the Buckeyes.
2-0 Ohio State. A runner on first. No outs, top of the fifth. 1-2 pitch, up and away. Ball 2 now to Heckman. Ohio State sitting 10-11 in Big Ten play. These games mattered massively for the Buckeyes seeding. 2-2 pitch to Heckman. Check swing, fouls it off. The Big Ten, Northwestern on top, Michigan a half game back, and then after that, it's a mess from 3 through 9. Everyone tight together, and the Buckeyes trying to move up with wins over the Wolverines on the road. 2-2, here's the pitch from Hain to Heckman. Fly to right field, Stevenson underneath it and has it, moving toward center field. And 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning.
Now, Alex, as you were mentioning, those 3 through 9 spot in the Big Ten is really, really tight. In fact, 3 through 9 all has either 10, 11, or 12 wins in Big Ten play. Ohio State is the only team with 10, so this series has very big impact for their tournament.
Cami Kortokrax takes the first pitch for ball 1. Hain back to the rosin bag. Her constant buddy in the circle. 1-0 count to Kortokrax. Walked and singled today. Rips one to right field. Stevenson running back to the corner. She's got it toward the foul line. 2 down as Ella Stevenson tracks down a fly.
2 great plays there from Stevenson as Cordelletti is unable to make any movement off of first base. She kind of let off on both of those hits. Ultimately, both were flyouts, and so Cordelletti, despite with the leadoff single, has stuck around on first base after 2 flyouts.
2 down for Jasmine Burns. First pitch to her. Inside for ball 1. Burns struck out looking in the first, reached on an error in the third. 2-0 Ohio State. 2 down, top of the 5th inning. Cordelletti on first. Hain rocks 1-0 pitch. Upstairs, Burns checked the swing, did not go around. 2-0.
Good decision to pull back there from Burns. That one was pretty high up, pretty much towards her helmet. We'll get ahead in the count, 2-0.
2-0 from Hain, runner goes, Cordelletti diving in, and she is safe. On a close play, Ella McVeigh trying to apply the tag, and Cordelletti snuck around to the outside part of the bag. And we get a replay on the Jumbotron. It looks indeed like she snuck in, at least from my 4 eyes of spectacles.
No, I definitely agree on that one. It seemed like Valmont kind of stumbled down to her knees, and that delayed the throw ever so slightly, so McVeigh was just late on the tag, so kind of jinxed it as Cordelletti's now at second.
3-0 to Burns, fouled off on the ground, third base side. Moves the count to 3-1. Erin Hain picks up the rosin bag.
And so aggressive base running from the Buckeyes with 2 outs, hopefully trying to get Cordelletti in. With Burns, again, another consistent bat for the Buckeyes. If she can get contact ball in the outfield, it could be dangerous.
3-1, misses up and away, easy take for Burns. She'll jog down to first base, and now 2 aboard with 2 outs. And Mackenzie Bump digs in the left-handed batter's box.
The senior third baseman 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a fly out.
First pitch to her, misses low. 1-0, and Jen Brundage will trot out to chat with her young freshman pitcher, Erin Hain. Brundage in year 26 as an assistant at Michigan, most of those under Carol Hutchins, now second as the associate head coach to Bonnie Thole.
Jen Brundage done a great job with the Michigan pitchers. Lots of great historic Michigan softball pitchers. Durkowski, who we saw yesterday, will definitely go down as one, and Erin Hain in her first season for the Wolverines already starting to look like a really good starter for years to come.
This freshman class as a whole has been incredibly promising. Regular
Absolutely.
starters in Conway and Stevenson, Postales. And that one got a piece of the elbow of bump and loads the bases for the powerful bat of Sam Hackenbrack.
And despite Hackenbrack's struggles this season, this still is not a spot where Erin Hain wants to be in that meeting with Jen Brundage. Despite going south as she hit the batter there, could potentially use that as a chance to cool down here. There'll be a pinch runner.
Number 11, Taylor Cruz, will run at second for Jasmine Burns. So it's Cordelletti at third, Cruz at second, and Mackenzie Bump, who was hit by a pitch, over at first. And Sam Hackenbrack up to bat, and now Hannah George trots out of the dugout, and Erin Hain passes her the softball. So Hannah George comes in a high leverage spot for Michigan. George pitched an inning yesterday, got the save, and now has to get Michigan out of a jam. The Wolverines trail 2-0 in the top of the fifth, bases loaded. And Bonnie Thole goes to the graduate from Columbus, Georgia, Hannah George.
And typically, Hannah George comes in later in these games to kind of get the save here, and now she'll come in with just one out remaining in the fifth. She's done a great job recently getting Michigan out of some tough situations or just preserving a win for the starting pitcher. And so Hannah George with the 1.84 ERA on the season pitches about just around 2 innings a game, and so she'll again get a little bit over 2 in today's contest.
George last year had an 11.05 ERA, though only pitched in 6 games. Before that, spent 4 years at UNC. Over her 4 years there, at a 3.90 ERA, and this year has been fantastic out of the bullpen for Michigan. And the veteran righty seeking a massive out with bases loaded, 2 down, and Sam Hackenbrack at the dish. High fives all around with George in the Michigan infield. Hackenbrack digs in, spins the bat twice, and now puts it around shoulder level. George rocks. First pitch of her afternoon is low. Good stop by Lily Valamont. 1-0.
And that one flew in there. Really good fastball there. Just fell a little bit low. And again, a good stop from the redshirt freshman Valamont.
George, right foot on the third base side of the rubber. Left toe in the ground, heel in the air. Rocks 1-0 delivery. Ripped foul down the third base line. One and one now to Sam Hackenbrack. Designated player in this contest. Caught yesterday's game for Ohio State. Hannah George checks the wristband. Now back on the rubber. Bases loaded, 1-1 count, 2 down, top of the fifth. George rocks 1-1 pitch. Lined on the ground. Erickson on a one-hop, steps on third base. Hannah George comes out of the pen and gets Michigan out of a big jam. And this game remains 2-0 Buckeyes. Bottom of the fifth coming up here in Ann Arbor.
Erin Hain did a good job starting that inning, getting those 2 outs. And although she kind of fell behind, had the walk, had the hit by pitch, Hannah George just comes in, gets a really, really nice end of the inning there as forced Hackenbrack into a tougher situation, grounds it straight to third, right to Maddie Erickson. Pretty easy play from Erickson there, but good job from George. As now again, like you said, Alex, remains scoreless on the frame, 2-0 on the day. And definitely a different game than we saw yesterday. This one definitely much lower scoring, but nonetheless a fun one.
Yesterday's contest, Michigan won 9-6 in a thriller. Alex Miller, Zach Edwards, happy to be here in Ann Arbor for game 2. WCBN will be on the cover tomorrow as well for the final regular season game for Michigan softball season. Tim DeGran and Peter Nasser will have the call on that one.
Michigan looking to stay undefeated at the Hutch this season. 14 wins and no losses. A win today would make 15, and then all they need is the win tomorrow to make it 16. So, again, last season, named this stadium after longtime legends Carol Hutchins. As now the fans here starting to get a little bit more involved as the DJ is doing a good job doing so.
I saw an interview Carol Hutchins game, and she had a funny quote where she said they renamed it Carol Hutchins, but to me and a lot of people, it'll always just be Alumni Field. And I thought that was a very humble quote from a legend in Carol Hutchins. Janisa Conway digs in and takes the first pitch she gets for ball one. Conway, Valamont, and Hain would still be due up 8th. We'll see if she stays in the game as a hitter. 1-0 pitch to Conway from Paulson for a strike, 1-1.
And Paulson with just 63 pitches. This time at the top of the inning, Aaron Hain had upwards of 75. So Paulson doing a good job keeping her pitch count low.
1-1, Janisa Conway laid down a bunt. It drifted foul. Conway trying to bunt for a base hit. In the left-handed batter's box, not a slap hitter, so bump at third base was playing back. If that one had stayed fair, it was around the right depth to beat one out. But alas for Conway, it drifted a touch foul. 1-2, infield a little bit tighter now this time. Here's the pitch. Conway checked her swing, off speed, was low for ball 2, 2-2.
And Conway, the freshman, learning from what we've seen all day with Paulson on that off-speed pitch.
2-2, here's the pitch to Conway. Checked her swing, but got run up, called strike 3. Paulson dropped the off-speed pitch in. First out at the bottom of the 5th. I've talked about this a lot about Conway all season long. She leads the Wolverines with 31 walks, also leads the Wolverines with, that was her 34th strikeout of the season. Lily Valamont now digs in. Wide stance, awaits the first pitch from Paulson. It's low, easy take for ball 1. The Wolverines are being one hit by Paulson through 4 1/3. It's just the Ella Stevenson double. They only have 1 walk as well, owed to Kiki Thole. Paulson hands over the head, 1-0 pitch. Inside, ball 2.
Lily Valamont couldn't reach on her first at bat, but nonetheless here in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out, looking to really get something going. That's been a pretty stagnant Michigan offense.
2-0 for a strike to Valamont, 2-1.
Paulson's doing a great job of finding the strike zone as on that off-speed pitch against Conway, caught her looking after she checked her swing, and with Valamont here, that pitch seemed to be a little bit high, but Blue thought otherwise.
2-1. The off speed doesn't drop in. Paulson tried to bend it in there. The count moves to 3-1 now to Lily Valamont. 1 out. A wave getting going here at Carol Hutchins. There was a massive wave that went around yesterday. 3-1 pitch. Valamont skies it to left field. Retreating is Cordelletti. She's got it 2 steps in front of the warning track. 2 down now. And it'll be Ava Costales out of the Michigan dugout to bat in place of Aaron Hain. Costales, the regular designated player for Michigan over the last bunch of weeks. The freshman hits for a lot of pop, 6 homers, batting average hovering near 300. Has a walk-off homer to her name, had a different walk-off knock earlier in the season. And she'll try to jumpstart the Wolverine offense with 2 down, nobody aboard, down 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, every at-bat becoming just that much more important for the Wolverines, as although Michigan's defense is doing a good job of containing Ohio State's offense, you need some runs on the board to keep this one alive.
Costales, first pitch off the end of the bat, back to the circle. Paulson easy toss to first. And the Wolverines are retired 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-0 Buckeyes through 5 here in Ann Arbor. game has started flying by all of a sudden. Both pitchers, and pitching staffs rather, Michigan went to the pen after the Buckeyes did finally get some traffic on the base paths last half inning. But in general, it's been a quiet one offensively from two teams that all season long have really hit the cover off the ball.
Yeah. Definitely surprising considering these Saturday games, softball teams typically don't pitch their top pitchers, don't pitch their aces, and so we saw Aaron Hain and Lexi Paulson come in for their respective sides, and both have done a very, very good job. And obviously now George in the circle for Michigan, who's kind of become a consistent reliever for the Wolverines. But all these pitchers who don't typically get more than one start a weekend, both making the most out of their opportunities and containing the respective offenses.
Hannah George back in the circle for Michigan. Came out of the pen last inning with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and retired Sam Hackenbrack on a grounder to third. And show Waltz with 7, 8, 9. Kirsten Epley, Destiny Norrie, and Caitlin Farley of the Buckeyes. In the top of the 6th inning, the Buckeyes looking to extend the lead. Hannah George looking to keep the deficit right where it is at 2 runs. Michigan defense still has Riley Carcaborough at first, Janella Lacqua at second. Starters elsewhere, McVeigh at short, Erickson at third, Sealer, Conway, and Stevenson left to right in the outfield, Valamont behind the dish. First pitch to Epley, inside for ball 1.
Epley 0 for 2 on the day, and Aaron Hain through those first 5 innings did a good job of keeping numbers 4 through 8 hitless in this game. And so Epley at the 7 spot is kind of rounding out the hitless part of the Buckeyes lineup.
1-0 for a strike from Hannah George. She'll grab some dirt from behind her. No rosin bag for her. That's a private possession of Aaron Haynes. 1-1 count to Epley. George, right foot on the rubber, left foot back. Turns the hips, rocks and delivers. 1-1. Misses inside. 2-1.
That was definitely really close there for Hannah George. And Alex, as you were running through George's stats, the North Carolina transfer in her second year with Michigan struggled last season, but this season, again, really coming into her own, especially later in this season, as a solid reliever.
2-1, fires a fastball in for a strike. 2-2. Two count to Kirsten Epley. Leading off for the Buckeyes in the top of the 6th. George rocks 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss.
And Hannah George's fastball has just been really crushing these Buckeyes batters so far. Although just 2 batters through, both of them retired quite quickly, as now she'll look to Destiny Norrie.
Destiny Norrie out in front of the first pitch she sees. Drags it foul down the third base side.
Again, Norrie rounding out the hitless portion of the Buckeyes lineup. Another one of these batters that's 0 for 2 on the day.
Norrie deep in the right-handed batter's box. Staggered stance, 0-1 pitch. Misses for a ball, 1-1.
I'm looking at the Michigan fielders. Carcaborough and Alakwa are still standing strong at first and second respectively. So came in as substitutions in the 4th and 5th innings, I believe, respectively. So sticking out in the 6th here.
1-1. Hit Norrie on the elbow. She'll shake the arm out and trot down to first. And Caitlin Farley will dig in for the Buckeyes with 1 down, a runner on first. You mentioned Alakwa and Carcaborough. Alakwa would be due up 3rd next inning, so we'll see if Indiana Langford returns. Kiki Thole will be due up 2 batters later if she were to return for Riley Carcaborough. Kelly Kovac-Shanley out to chat with home plate umpire Mindy Villa, and they'll pinch run for Destiny Norrie after she took the bump on the hit by pitch on the elbow. The pinch runner will be number 5, Skylar Lamone. She pinch ran in yesterday's game, so she's at first. Caitlin Farley digging into the left-hander batter's box. 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. 2-0 Ohio State. Both those runs came back in the top of the 3rd. Hannah George rocks first pitch to Farley. Swing and a miss.
And Farley 1 for 2 on the day. Had a single back in the 3rd. Looking again, that next batter in the Buckeyes lineup is Cordelletti, who's 3 for 3. So if they can get to her, it could be pretty lethal here for Michigan.
0-1, up and away for a ball. Farley was showing bunt, pulled it back on the high pitch. 1-1 now. Farley, the junior California native, hitting .321 in the 9-hole. Left-handed hitter. Staggered stance, 1-1 pitch. Misses low for a ball, 2-1. The number on Hannah George's back is the count, 21, 2-1 count. George checks the wristband, right foot back on the third base side of the rubber, left foot back, toe in the ground, heel in the air, rocks 2-1 delivery. Popped into the air, Maddie Erickson chasing into foul territory. She's got it next to the third base bag. And 2 down now. And the leadoff hitter, Tegan Cordelletti, 3 for 3 after gathering 2 hits in yesterday's game, digs in.
So Cordelletti, with 2 outs now for the Buckeyes, is in a less optimal situation if Farley would have gotten on, but nonetheless can still do some damage here for the Buckeyes.
First pitch away for ball 1. Cordelletti, Ohio native. Awaits the 1-0, squares around a bunt. Awaiting the pitch, pulls it back, and chops it foul. Off the netting, it got a piece of Kelly Kovac-Shanley coaching third. 1-1 now to Cordelletti. Who's again showing bunt as George sets. She'll pull it back, 1-1 delivery, slapped. Maddie Erickson plays it on a 1-hop throw to first in time. Hannah George, 4 up, 3 down. Still 2-0 Ohio State, bottom of the 6th inning coming up. The Wolverines have 6 outs to play with to get back into this game.
So Hannah George still hasn't allowed a hit in her 1 1/3 inning pitched. Hit that one batter kind of in the middle of that 6th inning, but nonetheless able to retire Cordelletti, who has gotten on in all 3 of her previous at-bats, but retired on that one. So now, as we get towards the very bottom with McVeigh up for Michigan, again, like you said, Alex, we'll see if they choose to go with those substitutions, those typical substitutions that would bring Langford and Thole back in the game for the batting order.
The Michigan Bats today as a team are 1 for 16. Just the double for Ella Stevenson. 1 walk. Kiki Thole earned that one. Those came in the same inning. Thole walked, Stevenson doubled to get those runners to second and third before Lexi Paulson retired 3 straight to strand 2 in scoring position. Paulson back in the circle, and she'll face 9-1-2. Ella McVeigh, Ellie Sealer. And we'll see if it's Janella Lockhor. More likely than not, it will be Indiana Langford.
Yeah. Again, Paulson done a great job keeping Michigan off of the base path. That double and Kiki Thole's walk are the only 2 times any Wolverine batter has touched the plate. So looking to get some leeway, looking to get some runs going here in the bottom of the 6th as time is starting to kind of wind down here for the Wolverines.
Some energy coming from a busy Carol Hutchins Stadium. You can tell these fans are ready to jump out of their seats.
Oh, yeah.
If the Wolverine offense can come alive late in this one. 2-0 Ohio State, bottom of the 6th inning. Wolverines looking for some offense.
Michigan fans definitely getting a little bit restless here. Starting the wave.
Ella McVeigh took a practice cut as Bonnie Thole was jogging over to the third base coaching box, and Bonnie Thole almost just ate a baseball bat, which would not have been a pretty sight, or a softball bat rather.
Yeah.
That was some Little League stuff. I umpired Little League for years. That's something you'd see a kid go to the other side and he wouldn't know, or she wouldn't know if it was softball.
Yep.
If there was a player taking cuts, and Bonnie Thole escapes unscathed as McVeigh fouls off the first pitch. That was a scary sight for a moment. I might have audibly gasped on air, but that's okay.
It's all right.
0-1 to McVeigh upstairs. Some defensive movement for Ohio State. Hackenbrack, the designated player, in it first. Epley goes to right field. Limon, the pinch runner, is in center. Heckman, the designated player, if her bat stays in. 1-1 pitch to McVeigh. Line to left field, and that's going to paint the chalk fair. McVeigh rounding to second now. She'll hold up, retreat to first. Cordelletti did a nice job tracking that one and getting it back in quickly. But McVeigh delivers a leadoff single, and the Wolverines have life in the sixth. And the feet are stomping on the bleachers of Carol Hutchins Stadium.
That one, again, kind of pulled up some of the dirt there right on that third base line, and we'll see. The umpires are going to meet here. I would not be surprised if they review it just because of how close it was, but if this stands as a hit, this is a crucial hit for Michigan, getting back in this game with just their second hit. Well, that does not look like they're going to review it, so we'll stand, and Ella McVeigh also will stand on first base, trying to get the crowd into it a little bit here.
And Ellie Sealer digs in. The junior from Monroe, Michigan, retired in both of her plate appearances thus far. Nobody out, down 2. Ella McVeigh aboard at first in the bottom of the sixth inning. Paulson requests time and steps off the rubber, goes to her rosin bag. Bonnie Thole coaching third, Faith Canfield coaching first for Michigan. First pitch to Sealer. Taken for strike one. Indiana Langford is swinging in the on-deck circle, so she'll return for Janella Lacqua.
Yeah.
0-1 pitch, off speed, a bunt laid down by Sealer. It's a beauty, played by the catcher. Burns' throw is just in time to get Ellie Sealer. But the sacrifice moves McVeigh into scoring position.
That was about as perfect as a bunt you could have laid. It just died right in front of home plate. And Burns, good heads-up play, running up and throwing it over to first. And as we watch it on the replay, it is very, very close. Looks bang-bang, but I do believe she looks out there.
And with that, never mind, for a moment I thought the umpires would go to the headset. They will not. Indy Langford will dig into the left-handed batter's box against Lexi Paulson. 44, dueling 44. Ella McVeigh aboard at second. Hands over the head, delivery from Paulson. First pitch for a strike to Indiana Langford.
Indiana Langford 0-2 on the day, falling just below 300 on the season.
0-1 pitch to Langford. Taken for strike two.
Looked like she kind of wrung back her bat as she went to slap hit that, but Blue thought either she went around or went in the zone, and so now 0-2, an unfavorable count for Indy Langford with a runner on second.
0-2 misses upstairs. 1-2. A very light breeze here at Carol Hutchins. The flag not fully unfurled out in center. Still cloud cover, not as sunny as I was hoping for this afternoon.
Yeah.
Still a nice day for some softball. 1-2 count. Paulson, the delivery. Langford chops it to third, and it's off the glove of the third baseman. Bump. Indiana Langford, her speed gives you something to think about there at third, and Bump trying to rush that exchange from glove to throwing hand. Bobbled it. And the Wolverines have two aboard and one out for Maddie Erickson, down 2 in the sixth.
There's some pretty good heads-up base running from Ella McVeigh on that play. As Bump on third base couldn't get a hold of that one. Potentially, if Ella McVeigh keeps running, she might have been tagged out. So good job to stay and hold on to second. As now she'll pump her arms in the air, trying to get this Michigan crowd going. I'm sure you can hear, really good situation for Michigan to get on the scoreboard here with Maddie Erickson up to bat.
The crowd here at Carol Hutchins waiting to explode. 2 aboard, 1 out for Maddie Erickson. Lexi Paulson on the rubber. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss at the rise ball from Erickson.
Great pitch from Paulson. Kind of gave it to her right on the level of Erickson's neck, and she was swinging for the fences on that one. Just couldn't get a grip of it, so 0-1 is the count.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Big swing from Erickson out in front. Drives it foul, out of play, but that ball was crushed.
And that ball had a lot of weight on it, but kind of hit it foul, so unable to put it in play. Michigan crowd supporting Erickson as she's down in the count.
0-2 to Erickson. Paulson in the circle, a lonely place now away on the road. 0-2 delivery. Popped to the first base side. Out of play. 0-2 once again to Maddie Erickson.
We heard that one kind of clunk above us here as we're standing outside. Have a really good audio of the Michigan faithful here as they're supporting one of the best hitters in Michigan's lineup.
0-2, here's the pitch from Paulson, off speed. Misses, low and away, close pitch. Stone cold take from Maddie Erickson.
A really good eye there. Paulson's really gone to that off-speed pitch in times of disparity. So with an 0-2 count, 1-2 count standing, Erickson will get ready.
1-2, skips in low, easy take. Throw down a second. McVeigh dives back in safely. Count is even at 2 apiece. 2-0 Ohio State. Bottom of the 6th inning. 2 aboard. Maddie Erickson at the dish. 2-2 count.
Maddie Erickson showing a lot of composure here in this at-bat after falling behind 0-2. Starting to work her way back in.
Paulson, hands over the head, rocks 2-2 delivery, chopped on the ground, up the middle. Corda cracks to second in time. Not in time to turn it to Erickson at first. Langford is signaling from second. She thinks she was safe there.
Maddie Erickson definitely outran that at first, but we'll kind of watch on the replay here, see if Indy got in safely. Ooh, that is really close.
It is very close. She might have, and it really should not. It had no business being that close to a play. Really a 3-hopper to Corda cracks it short, and Langford just hustled to second, and she can fly down the base paths and made it a tough call for Tanya Gehrig, the umpire. And they'll go to the headset. If Langford is safe, the bases will be loaded with 1 out for Kiki Thole. If Langford is out, it'd be 2 outs, runners on the corners for Thole. Either way, the Wolverines threatening, but certainly an extra runner and 1 less out is a gift that you would take.
Oh, absolutely. And with Kiki Thole's power hitting, if she can hit one over the fence, I mean, that'd be crucial, but let's say it is a 1-out situation here and Kiki Thole drops one kind of at the warning track. That's a pretty easy run for McVeigh to get in and get Michigan on the board.
And Maddie Erickson at first will be pinched run for by Lexi Delamonica, the freshman from Queen Creek, Arizona.
And we've seen Delamonica often put in these situations as a pinch runner. But umpires taking their time reviewing this as we await the call.
And on review, Indiana Langford is out. She is in a state of disbelief, and the Boo Birds ring down from the Maize and Blue faithful. Indiana Langford gets a high five from first base coach Faith Canfield. She trots into the dugout, raises her hands above the shoulders to hype up the crowd on the first base side. So now with that out, 2 outs, runners on the corners. At third, McVeigh. At first, Delamonica. And Kiki Thole, the senior from Tinley Park, Illinois, up at the dish. And there is a bug crawling on my notes. Look at that. What is that thing? I don't know, but it's crawling. 2 outs for Thole. Digs into the right-handed batter's box. Paulson checking the wristband. Now comes set. Hands over the head. Rocks first pitch to Thole. Big swing. Fouled it back.
And Burns showed a couple signs at the catcher position there to the rest of the infield, probably signaling as we see all of the Buckeye outfielders hanging pretty far back, trying to prevent anything from going over the wall.
With 2 outs, of course, the sac fly possibility taken away.
Yep.
0-1 pitch. Thole, big swing again and again. Skies it out of play behind her. 0-2, Paulson ahead.
And Paulson doing a great job in these last 2 at-bats. Got Erickson at 0-2 on some foul tips, and now Kiki Thole in the same situation. We saw Erickson make her way back. See if Kiki Thole can do the same.
0-2. Off speed, just misses for ball 1.
It was a good level on that pitch. Could have been a little in or out, but Kiki Thole didn't bite on the off speed as a lot of the Wolverines has done earlier today, but Michigan crowd getting in here.
Back in. 1-2 pitch on the ground. Back in by Kortokrax. Throw to first. Got her. For a moment, it seemed like Hackenbrack had been unable to pick the ball on a backhand. But Thole retired at first, and the Wolverines leave 2 on base and still trail 2-0 through 6 innings of play here in Ann Arbor.
That was definitely the best situation Michigan has had thus far. Unable to bring anyone in, as kind of both of those last 2 outs went to Kortokrax at shortstop, made the flick over, and as they reviewed the play on Indy Langford, eventually called her out, and that was a pretty crucial out there, as if she would have been called safe, you know, unlikely that they would have gotten a double play on that last one and able to get Thole out, retire the side. But now on defense, obviously Indiana Langford and Kiki Thole back at their respective positions, as Hannah George will try and hold on to keep it close for Michigan to pick up where they left off last inning. And so now Ohio State, after Hannah George retired Cordelletti for the first time in her day today, they'll start Hackman, Kortokrax, and Burns kind of at the top of this Buckeye lineup that has done a good job all weekend. Not as well today, but potentially trying to keep them off of the scoring board is Hannah George.
Taylor Heckman takes the first pitch from George for a ball. Number 2, 3, 4 in the batting order. Heckman, Kortokrax, and Burns. For Ohio State, George rocks 1-0 pitch inside for a ball, 2-0.
And Heckman with a .331 average on the season. She's definitely one of the better hitters here in the 2 spot. However, 0-2 on the day today.
George 2-0 pitch, low and away, ball 3 to Taylor Heckman.
Again, with Heckman 0-2 on the day, that third unaccounted for at bat was an RBI sac fly all the way out into left field that started the scoring here today and accounted for one of the only 2 runs on the day today for either team.
3-0 pitch, skips in low, 4-pitch walk. Taylor Heckman aboard, a leadoff base runner for Ohio State.
And so now it's Kortokrax up to bat. She, last inning, or rather at the bottom of last inning, did a good job of retiring the side, and now will come in also to .331 average on the season with a single and one of the Buckeyes' 5 hits on the day today.
First pitch to Kortokrax on the ground, back to George. She'll just go to first. So Kortekrak's retired. Heckman advances to second. Interesting decision by George. It looked like she might have had the time to turn that back to second. It's a tough play. Would have been close.
Yeah, playing a little bit conservative here. And down 2-0. Might want to take some risks.
Jasmine Burns takes a first pitch strike on a heater from Hannah George. 0-1 to the freshman catcher. George rocks 0-1 pitch, ripped back on the middle. McVeigh on a dive, throw to first, in time. A phenomenal play by Ella McVeigh up the middle.
An incredible play there from McVeigh as she dove and just barely snagged onto that ball with the edge of her glove. Gets up and makes the throw in time and beats out Burns. That is a crucial second out.
And that likely saves a run.
Absolutely, yeah.
With Heckman moving up to third. If that gets to the outfield, she turns and scores. Instead, 2 outs for Mackenzie Bump. Huge play from Ella McVeigh. Still a 2-0 ball game, 2 outs, top of the 7th for Bump. First pitch, slices it foul down the left field side.
And again, a great save for McVeigh. As you mentioned, Alex, that could have prevented a run on that one had it gone to the outfield. But nonetheless, with 2 outs now, sac fly is ruled out for Bump.
0-1 to Bump. Hannah George back on the rubber. Rocks 0-1 pitch. Bunt tried to lay it down. Bump tried to lay down the bunt, excuse me, and fouls it back. 0-2 now. So Bump trying to bunt for a base hit there with the 2 outs.
And again, the Michigan crowd supporting their team as Hannah George is in a great count, 0-2. Could potentially get out of the 7th inning.
George, 0-2 pitch. Fouled off the netting behind home plate by Mackenzie Bump. Hannah George picks up some dirt with her throwing hand, now checks the wristband. Right foot back on the rubber, left foot back, toe in the ground, heel in the air, turns the hips, rocks and delivers the 0-2, fouled off, just got a piece of that, did Mackenzie Bump.
Mackenzie Bump staying alive here, 4th pitch of the at-bat, 2 straight fouls. As the DJ gets Michigan's crowd into it a little bit here. Again, Hannah George with the 0-2 count, so trying to get out of this inning without allowing a run.
0-2, Heckman at third, still 0-2 to Mackenzie Bump. George delivers the 0-2, fouled off, out of play again on the third base side. So we'll dance again at 0-2.
Yep, keep doing this 0-2 count. Again, Bump just staying in there.
Oh and 2 once again. George rocks and delivers upstairs. 1-2.
Still a good situation here for Hannah George, ahead in the count. And Mackenzie Bump with a 341 average is, again, in this really tough part of the Buckeye lineup.
George rocks 1-2 pitch on the ground. Kiki Thole had to move over to play it, and no one covered the first base bag. So Heckman scores as Bump reaches on the infield base hit. And that's an unfortunate turn of events there for the Wolverines.
Yeah, it seemed like kind of a miscommunication there as Thole kind of went for the ground, or don't know if Indiana Langford might have been able to scoop it up right behind her and then Thole cover the bag, but I mean, when no one covers the bag, there's no chance to get the out there.
And the Buckeyes lead 3-0. Pitch gets away from Valamont, and Bump trots to second. And that extra run just makes the Michigan offense's job a little bit harder in the bottom of the 7th.
So just like that, another runner in scoring position for Ohio State with 2 outs.
Sam Hackenbrack in their 1-0 count. Here's the pitch from George. This is low and away, 2-0.
Hackenbrack again had that home run yesterday on what's been a relatively slow season for her, and a relatively slow day today as well, going 0 for 3. Was one of Haynes' strikeouts, as well as multiple other flyouts.
George rocks 2-0 pitch. This is low, 3-0 now to Hackenbrack. .30 pitch from George. This is inside, ball 4. Ella McVeigh, hands in the air. The shortstop thought it was a strike. Jennifer Brundage will walk out of the dugout to chat with Hannah George. 2 outs, 2 aboard, 3-0 Ohio State in the top of the 7th inning.
You got to feel for Hannah George a little bit here. Was in a great situation throughout bumps at bat. Stuck at 0-2 for a really long time, and then went to 1-2, but a base hit on kind of a miscommunication has kept this inning alive and allowed a run. And so Michigan, who's struggled all day on offense, will have an additional run to make up for in the bottom of the inning. And again, both teams really playing for something here today. Michigan playing for potential outright Big Ten title if they sweep and Northwestern loses a game this weekend, and then Ohio State in the meat of the Big Ten sitting at the 9 spot out of 14. And the top 12 teams make the Big Ten tournament, so they're not really on the edge of that, but on the edge of a good positioning here for Ohio State.
And Indiana, playing Northwestern, leads the Wildcats by 6-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Northwestern threatening, though. But if the Hoosiers win, but the Michigan Wolverines fail to win on their end, they'd still be a half game back. Kirsten Epley takes a first pitch for a ball.
So no pitching substitution just yet. For Hannah Georgia, she'll stay in there. Again, runners on first and second, so not in a great situation.
1-0 misses low, 2-0. Whenever Michigan does inevitably get out of this inning, it'll be 5-6-7, Ella Stevenson, Janisa Conway, Lily Valama for the Wolverines. But for now, 2-0 count, 2 outs, 2 aboard.
It'd be 3 straight freshmen to go in the Michigan lineup in the bottom of the order.
The 2-0 pitch is ripped to right field, back at the wall, and that ball is gone. Epley goes opposite field. A 3-run bomb, and that might have just put this game out of reach.
Great hit there from Epley as that one just goes right, barely over Stevenson and barely over the wall, kind of in between the wall itself and the border of the outfield stands, as now there'll be an even bigger deficit that Michigan will have to try and overcome in the bottom of the inning, and becoming much, much less favorable. And like you said, Alex, that one very well could have put it out of reach.
Skylar Lamone will hit now. That one foul, third base side.
Lamone again pinch ran back an inning ago and was put in on defense, and so she'll go in for the at-bat here as Ohio State's gone all the way through their lineup.
Lamone, 33 games now, including this one, but 0 for 2 only at the plate this season. Takes a pitch inside there, 1-1 to the sophomore California native. One pitch from George for a strike 2. 1-2 count now to Skylar Lamone.
So Hannah George now has been 1 strike away from ending the inning. Back when it was 2-0 is now 6-0 with Ohio State leading, and again 1 out. or 1 strike rather.
1-2 pitch misses low and away. 2-2 now to Lamone. George seeking something to put her away. Here's the 2-2 from George. Slapped foul toward the Ohio State dugout. Count stays at 2-2.
Skylar Lamone staying in. This at bat here. Again, Hannah George just trying to get out of this inning.
George rocks 2-2 pitch. Slapped. Ella McVeigh with another phenomenal defensive play. Snags it out of the air with a leap to her right on the backhand and helps out her pitcher, Hannah George, for the second time this frame. But the Buckeyes struck again in the 7th, 6-0 after the 3-run homer by Taylor Epley. And now the Wolverine bats need something special here in the bottom of the 7th.
And again, with just 2 hits on the day today for Michigan, they're going to need to at least double that in order to get on the scoring board here and potentially mount a comeback. But again, Lexi Paulson has just done an incredible job all day keeping the Wolverines off the base path. And she'll stick it out for the 7th inning as her pitch count is now at 91. But with a 6-0 lead, all she needs is 3 outs to end this one and less than 6 runs. So not much doing here for the Wolverines.
Paulson has only thrown a singular complete game this season. It was her 3rd start of the year, the 3rd appearance of the year, a start against Idaho State on February 25th. And this is already her next longest start of the season.
Again, Lexi Paulson's only started 5 games before this game today, so doesn't often see, especially like you said, a complete game. Only her second, could be, again, her 2nd of the year. But with Ella Stevenson up to bat, one of only 2 Michigan hitters to find something, we'll look to get things started here.
First pitch to Stevenson. Big swing, fouled it back. And Byrne behind the dish was unable to get to it. Had to sort of circle around the home plate umpire, Mindy Villa, who sort of boxed her out in a way.
Yeah, kind of an unfortunate situation there for Burns. Might have been able to make the play there, but couldn't get around home plate blue, so Ella Stevenson will do it again.
Wolverines will take that one. 0-1 now to Stevenson. Off speed is taken low for ball 1, 1-1.
And like I mentioned, Ella Stevenson, one of just 2 Michigan batters to make contact with the ball and land fair. She had a double all the way back in the 2nd. And just last inning was the only other hit for the Wolverines.
1-1 pitch to Stevenson, up top, 2-1. Infield and outfield straight on for the Buckeye defense. Paulson rocks, 2-1 pitch for a strike, 2-2.
So Ella Stevenson, who's been really consistent batter recently for Michigan. Again, 3-time reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Looking to get things started here.
2-2. The off-speed Paulson thought she'd struck out Stevenson looking, but Mindy Villa behind the dish disagreed. So instead, the count is 3-2 to Ella Stevenson. Paulson rocks, 3-2 ticker, popped in the air. This time Burns, the catcher, has it on the backhand. Snow coned a little bit on the grab, but she hauled it in. And 1 out, and when you're down 6, every out means a lot to your chances.
Absolutely.
So Janisa Conway now with 1 down, nobody aboard, trailing 6-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll try to get the Wolverines started. Here's the pitch from Paulson. Skips in low for a ball.
And Conway 0 for 2 on the day. A ground out and a strikeout looking. Didn't love the call last time she was struck out and came up to bat in the 5th inning. But again, needs to get something going for Michigan now.
1-0 misses low and away to Conway. 2-0 count.
And Conway, the freshman who's been in the lineup every single game for the Wolverines with the .230 average.
2-0, foul tipped into the glove for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Janisa Conway. Paulson hands over the head, 2-1 pitch, ripped foul. Conway out in front of it, and now the count even at 2-2.
And Paulson on the day again done a great job, but only 4 strikeouts. It's not crazy high or crazy low amount of strikeouts for her, despite pitching every inning. With the 2-2 count to Janisa Conway, is 1 strike away from a second out. That would be, again, just 1 out closer.
2-2 off speed. Paulson rolls it to second. Deep in the hole goes Farley, not in time. So Janisa Conway beats 1 out for a base hit, and the Wolverines have some semblance of life here in the bottom of the 7th.
Really good placement there for Janisa Conway. Hit it just past the first baseman, and so it had to be the second baseman, Farley, who had to make the play and was just a little bit late to that one. And although it got out of the hands of Hackenbrack, who's standing at first, Conway will stand up at second, or at first rather, with Valamont up to bat.
1 out for Lily Valamont. She'll request a late time and take a practice cut. Now she'll dig back into the right-handed batter's box and bends the knees and awaits the pitch. Here it comes from Paulson. Off speed for strike 1.
Valamont 0 for 2 on the day. Will need to find her first hit in order to move the base runners a little bit with Conway at first.
0-1 pitch to Valamont. Heater in there for strike 2, and Valamont falls behind 0-2.
And Janisa Conway, with 13 steal attempts on the season, has completed 10 of them. Would not be surprised if we see a little bit of aggressive base running to just try and get something going for Michigan.
I also, though, I'll push back a little bit because.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. I feel like in this situation, that run doesn't, like when you're down 6, the 1 run. I mean, it maybe makes you feel a little more confident, but
yeah.
I don't know if the risk of running into an out at second is worth it when you'll still need 5 more after Conway. But
definitely fair.
Either way, 0-2 to Valamont. Conway aboard at first. And Paulson requests time. Seems like she lost the count. 0-2 is said count. Paulson rocks and delivers. Valamont rips it back to second and hauled it on a line by Farley, and that's the second out of the bottom of the 7th.
So 2 straight balls there that went to Farley. Couldn't make a play on that first grounder, but that line out from Valamont seals the deal on her at bat. So now 2 outs for the Wolverines, and I mean, they're going to need to make a lot happen with just 1 out remaining in this game. And Ava Costales up to bat.
Costales, the last out, swings at the first pitch, rips it, but right at the left fielder, Cordelletti. And the Wolverines are retired, and with it, the ball game is over. The Buckeyes shut out the Wolverines 6-0. Lexi Paulson goes all the way. 7 shutout innings of 3 hit ball with 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for the sophomore.
A lot of credit to Lexi Paulson. Michigan could only have 3 hits on the day, as Lexi Paulson really contained them throughout the entirety of it. But credit also to Ohio State's bats, who came alive in that 7th inning to extend it, obviously way without reach, especially considering Michigan had no runs. But with Cordelletti going 3 for 4 on the day, the offensive MVP, no doubt, for the Buckeyes.
And keeping an eye on other results, Indiana still up 6-3 in the bottom of the 6th against Northwestern. And assuming the Hoosiers hold on, this loss for Michigan would still mean the Wolverines are a half game back in the Big Ten standings. So tomorrow, if the Wolverines were to win and Northwestern were to lose a second game to the Hoosiers, the Wolverines would win the Big Ten outright. But this was a missed opportunity. Obviously, credit the Buckeyes. The Bats came alive in big moments. Big extending homer, though it didn't end up mattering, by Epley. And the Wolverines lose this one 6-0 in front of a busy Carol Hutchins Stadium Saturday in Ann Arbor. Zach, any final thoughts to wrap this one up?
I mean, again, in order to get that Big Ten regular season title, they're going to need now 2 losses from Northwestern and a win tomorrow. So not as much going their way after they drop this second game, but, I mean, just a really great performance by Lexi Paulson in the circle for Ohio State. And Michigan will definitely have to turn it around tomorrow in order to build some momentum, potentially seal a title, but also build that momentum for the tournament upcoming in just about a week or so.
The Wolverines take their first loss home at the Hutch. They fall 6-0 to the Ohio State Buckeyes. For Zach Edwards, I'm Alex Miller, and we'll leave you as we always do with a good night. It's afternoon perhaps. Also tune in tomorrow. I want to mention that. Tune in tomorrow to WCBN's call of Game 3 between these two teams. And now I'll leave you with a good early evening and a Go Blue.